Hiya! I'm Blue and today I'm going to explain how I pick colors. I've been promising these tutorials quite a while, so I'm sorry it took me so long to actually make them. But I'll be doing these tutorials in a two-part series. This video will be about how I pick colors and the next video will be about how I render and paint my pieces. So if you're interested in that, that should be out by next week. But before I start the tutorial, I'd like to thank Wondershare Democreator for sponsoring this video. Wondershare Democreator is a screen recording and video editing software. The screen recording is easy to use and set up. It's perfect for gameplay recording and speed paint recording, which is what I use it for. Wondershare Democreator is able to record in 10, 80 and 60 frames per second. Adjust the recording size of the screen. You can use a webcam and a mic. You can also do a live drawing while recording and highlight areas of interest with your mouse. Along with their editing side of their software, their interface is easy to navigate and learn, with tons of neat features like panning and zooming, cropping, titles, transitions, and speeding up a clip, and so much more. Their interface is easy to navigate and use, which is perfect for beginners, while still looking professional. I've been using Wondershare Democreator for a while and I love it. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, Wondershare Democreator has a campaign called Start YouTube with Democreator, where they'll be giving away a 1-year license of Wondershare Democreator and weekly prizes. To participate and to download, the link will be in the description and pinned comment. Thank you again to Wondershare. Now onto the tutorial. I have two main coloring styles, which I'm going to be putting into two categories. My first one going to be my most popular, which I'm going to call Set 1. Set 1 is very colorful and busy, and I use it for a lot of really detailed work, and if I want the mood to be more jolly and happy. And the second I'm going to call Set 2. This is more monotone, which means I mostly stick to one hue or just one color for the shading and everything. And I use this if I want more flat or just dull kind of looking picture. Not a dull looking picture, but you'll see for the examples they aren't as vibrant and popping as Set 1. But I love both of these sets and they're both great. But before I get to explaining Set 1 and 2 separately, there are some rules that I follow for both of these coloring styles. Before I start any drawing, I have to think of what the mood of the art piece is going to be like. What kind of feeling or scenario do I want for the art? That determines the color palette or which coloring style I'll be using for this art piece. A color theory that helps me a lot with this is that different colors have different emotions. For example, red and black can be used to show more aggressive and angry characters like Bakugo, while green and blue can be more soft and caring like Deku. Taking the time to learn this will help a lot. I'll leave some links in the descriptions to videos that have better explanations of this color theory. For example, in my Promised Neverland piece, I wanted the characters to look really happy and calm, so I used a lot of pinks and reds and, warm colors. But then I also wanted like an airy feeling to it, so I added blue, like a really dark blue for the background, rather than like a pink. A hue is a part of the color wheel which controls the color you're selecting, so it's the outer part of the color wheel, and the saturation controls how vibrant or how dull the color is going to be, so it's the triangle, the square or the circle, the inside basically. For saturation, I stick between the grays and the pastels. I try to stick here for most of my art, for most of my base coloring. I try and stick there for most of my base coloring. For my hues, I like being in the reds and pinks and the blues and purples, but then again it depends on what coloring style I'm going to use and the mood or the aesthetic of my art piece. I'll be showing you guys how I use each of these later when I do my demonstration piece, but first I'm going to explain to you guys Set 1's rules that I follow and then Set 2's. So first I'm going to explain Set 1. This is my favorite coloring style and my most popular coloring style. For Set 1 there are a couple of light rules that I follow, but I just kind of bend them as I go. Before I show you how I use it, I want to explain some color theory I used with this. So the first one being I use opposite colors, so that means on the hue if I select, for example blue, it's using opposite colors to complement each other basically. I use this method but just a little bit different, so rather than complete opposite colors I'd lean more to the blue or the red colors. Number 2, for shading I use 2 to 3 colors plus a highlight if I'm feeling extra. Normally my shadings are more blue. And then the last shading layer will obviously be the opposite color, then I just turn down the opacity on that. Number 3, I don't really pick colors that are correct. How I mean by this is if I have a plant, rather than having it a green, I'll try and lean it to more of a blue color or a yellow color. Same with black, rather than using pure black, I'd rather use maroon or blue, and white I'd use a cream instead. Number 4, I do this a lot, but I'll use a blue color and just turn down the opacity, so then I'll put this blue color any of the places that are dark areas, so like under a chin, in the hairline, in the back, or any parts of the body that's kind of far away. The second one I'd like to explain is set 2. This has a little bit less rules in it and it's not as complicated as set 1. I must use it for lazy coloring or if I want like a certain mood for my drawings. This is more monotone coloring style. That means there's only one color theme within the whole piece, like grayscale but with colors. Number 1, pick a hue section you're going to stay in, once again thinking of the mood or style. Then I'll stick between these hues for the entire piece, sometimes going out if I really need a different color. Then I use the saturation for shading and shape. The shading is the same as set 1, but it's just in small hue range, so I still have 3 shading layers. Yeah, and that's basically set 2. So I'll give you for examples of this one as well. So now I'll be showing you guys how I do set 1 with the rules that I explained to you guys. So first off, I have my base over here, which is this gray color, and these kitties are going to be my example. So let's start with picking a base color. Like I said in the general rules, and then we stick between these gray areas over here. So let's start with this guy. So now that the base colors are done, as you can tell, they're all in this gray area like I said I stay in, and my hues, like I said, blue, so here and then here. As you can tell, those are the places they stick most to. What I do with the first layer is I select the base color, and then I move here by the saturation a bit down, a little bit darker, and then I move the hue, like normally downwards, so I'm going to put it over here. So this color, bit here, let's move a bit more to the, no, look right there, and then I shade. So after that's done, I choose another one which will probably be a bit more to the blue color, so here, let's move a bit downwards, no, a little bit too much there, yeah, so that's number 2. I only put a little bit of areas over here, like that. And then the last layer is the opposite color, so the pink cat's base color is here, so I'm trying to get the opposite color, so it's this one. So I'm going to use a bit more of a aqua color, so maybe about here, let's choose here, and then I'll add that there, and just turn down the opacity of the layer, like that. And maybe turn down the, yeah, like that. So then that's what I do basically for everything. So let's do the color. Color is here, bit downwards, drop it down. Let's go here for it's yeah, that. Second shading, it's right there. Let's put that there, and then third is the opposite color, base color here. So let's drop it more to the purple. Drop the opacity, and voila, that's basically what I do for the shading. And then like I said, I also add a little bit of blue, so let's take this color. So this is the darker area, so here under her neck, over here, and the back over here, and I just turn down the opacity. So that's basically what I do. I'm going to finish shading everything and just, so that's basically what I do. Here I will show you how I do the entire picture. So once again, all the shading is done. So now I'm going to take a blue color, so read this one right here, take it up, and then put it into the little corner. So there would be cute there, and then maybe there. I turn down the opacity. Ta-da! And now we have pretty pictures. And then also I changed the line art color. So line art is always in multiply. Then I take like a red, put there, maybe a bit of an orange here. This is my blue area, so a little bit blue here, blue here, blue here, here. There's more red over there. It's a red area there. Yeah, ta-da! That's basically set one. Alright, so now I'm going to explain set 2, how I pick colors for this one. So like I said, it's mostly in one hue. So for this picture, I'm going to stay in this hue over here, this more brown area, and I'm still going to stay in the grey area, but I think I'm going to stay more over here for that. Okay, so now that the base colors are done, as you can tell, I stayed in the grey area. If I click around, it's mostly stayed in this area. Sometimes I go here, but not a lot. So it's mostly in this area. If I'm using a yellow, I don't select multiple different kind of yellows. I normally stick with one yellow throughout the entire drawing. That just helps with consistency. So now I'm going to do the same with the shading. So it's going to be shading 1, this color. And let's go a bit down, but let's not go out of these hues. So it's this, a little bit down, stay in this hue. So that's shading layer. Next, a little bit more down maybe. Let's go a bit more pink here. There we go. I don't feel like adding maybe a little bit lighter layer there. So again, let's try it with the red. Select the base color, see where it is, a little bit down. Let's not go out of this hue, so maybe we can go a little bit down over here, like so. Maybe I don't need to add another shading layer there. See, it's the same, but I don't go out of this hue, so I will mostly stay up here, but most of the time the hue is dropping when I'm doing a shading. So now that the shading is done, I did everything on one layer because there wasn't any need to change opacity. So then I'm going to select the opposite color, so it's this one. I'm going to lean more to the green this time, there. And I'm going to add a little bit of section. So like here maybe, here a little bit, there a little bit, there, maybe under here, here on the collar would be cute. There, and then that's all the blue I add a little bit of opacity down. And that's set 2. It's pretty easy. Maybe a shading in the same hue, lighting. Maybe a lighting in the same hue, not going out of your section that you've selected, and that's basically it. Alright, so that's my entire process. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, you can feel free to ask me questions in the comments. In the next section, I'll be doing an entire illustration, and I'll be sharing my thoughts and why the colors I was picking, and it's just basically what I think while I'm drawing and stuff. But next week I'll be painting the same illustration I'm doing today. So if you're interested in learning how I use my brushes and the brushes I use, I'll be posting that next week. Enjoy, and I hope it makes sense. Enjoy my rambling, I guess. Okay, so this is the part that I've been waiting for. I finally get to color this piece. It's been sitting in my art program for forever now. I kind of have the color palette for this one planned out already. So this is my character Aiden. He's an ass. He's kind of angry. So his color palette is going to be more purples, blues and reds, lots of warm colors. For this piece, I'm going to stay in this area, and then I'm going to try and stay in this area right here. So it's more of a warmer piece. So let's start with the skin color. There seems pretty good. Let's check. Yeah, that's pretty good. Also changed the layer to multiply just so the lines aren't, you know, like washed away. So first things first, blush. A little bit darker. I always add blush. I cannot do an illustration if I don't have blush on there. Like, oh my goodness. I also haven't grown over my Tumblr face, you know, with the red nose. I'll never get over it. I'm gonna do that for the rest of my art career, I swear. Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to shade. First layer shading. What color is he? He's like a red. So for skin color shading, I always go for like a purple. So here. So after that's done, let's choose a different color. So it's purple. Let's do a bit more of a purple color like this. It's gonna go inside the shade. Oh no, I'm a little bit grayer. Like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Also, something I really love doing is adding these little red things. Like I added on the outside of a shading piece like this. I've had people tell me, don't do that, that's not right, but I don't care, bro. I think it looks cool. My art is not realistic, so like that. See? Ta-da! You put it to overlay just above the layer and it makes like this cute little vibe. So if you guys can remember, I said I never use white, so I'm going to use like a cream grey color, so probably about here. Okay, so Aiden has black hair, but I don't like using black, so I'm going to use this maroon purple. Like I said, I don't use black, so I'm using this purple color, this purple maroon color, if I can call it that. Ooh, we need no blue in this. Alright, so as you can tell, the piece is more orange now, so let's take a aqua color like this. Yeah, like that, and then let's add it here, and ooh, let's add a bit more blue. Ew. There and there. And just turn down the opacity just to hide that there's too much orange, like a little bit too much, you know, if it's a little bit overbearing, you can just it gets stuck in my head so much. TikTok songs, whenever I'm drawing, it's like my brain is doing TikTok dances. It's like the best app, but it's the worst app ever. And like when I want to take a break, I'm just gonna go through TikTok for like 5 seconds, and then when I look up, it's been like 4 hours. I'm like, I'm supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be doing like stuff. Now I'm here watching funny videos of people doing cat dances. What the hell? I want to add a little bit more red over here because it's too blue, so let's add a like that. Let's turn down the opacity just a teeny bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Purple, bit more purple, yes. Yeah, I hear everybody agreeing. Let's make it a bit more purple. Hell yeah, that was the right decision. I think. I don't know, I'll probably regret it later. Anyway. Okay, so he is a very red color, like bright color, so I'm gonna make the background blue to like stop it from looking too red. Oh god, this is gonna crash. Ah! I knew it! Ah, it's back, nice. That was quicker than I thought. Nah, maybe not that blue, maybe like a gray blue, like that. Ew, no, that's even worse. But something's missing, so I think I'm going to add some lighting. It's like, I might as well give like a lighting tutorial as well, so I don't have to do this. So I think I'm gonna put the lighting here, have it like from the back of him, like this. Make it just reflect like on small areas, like maybe hit the back of his head there. Alright, I think I'm pretty much done this. I hope this helped a little bit. If it didn't, I apologize, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just wing it until I'm like, wow, okay, this color looks nice with this color, and I just kind of go with it. Alright, but next week I'll be posting my painting tutorial. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I'm definitely not used to recording and talking to myself, so I hope I made a little bit of sense. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can. The tutorial will be releasing, so if you're interested in that, please stick around. Also, thank you so much for 30,000 subscribers. That's a lot, thank you. Also, please check out Wondershare Democreator, and yeah, that's all. Okay, bye!